There are moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing Sound Art, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat-panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
Come alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With Sound Art, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. Sound Art is elegantly hidden behind a high-grade, textured canvas wrap, bringing together the best of sound and art. This innovative design allows for a truly invisible, high-fidelity sound experience without bulky speakers.
At long last, the OMSRL XFinity Series, sponsored by Tucson Sound Art, returns as we get set to wind down the regular series season with one last short track before we round it up for the last race before the chase-off. Welcome to Richmond Raceway and to the Kart City Performance 160. Hello, one and all, and welcome to the show. My name is Nolan Rempo. I'll be bringing you all of the coverage from start to finish from tonight's 160-lap race. There is a lot to talk about when it comes down to the points, and I can tell you right now, it is all to play for a lot of these drivers up at the top of the boards. Let's take a rundown of how the Drivers' Championships are shaking on up. In the bubble, you've got Matt Rucci, Michael Kenner, Hunter Thrower, and Colby Wells all in on wins. Spencer Ray is, for all intents and purposes, already fully locked in. All he has to do is make the start for tonight's race, and he will find himself locked into the chase as well. Hamilton, Peterson, Munson, Robert Peterson, Kaiser, Musadi, and Brody are all within the bubble spot, but look out for Barrett Morton, only 9 points out. And if Nathaniel Ames can have something go his way over the next couple of weeks, then maybe, just maybe, he could find himself punching his ticket into a race win as well. That's all that's going to be up for the point standings. It is all to play for the time being. But for now, let's talk about this racetrack, Richmond Raceway. It is by far one of the more unique tracks that we go to on the iRacing calendar. It is one of the more difficult short tracks out there, but I know for a fact that these drivers absolutely think that they have what it takes to handle it. As we ride on board with Hunter Thrower around for his qualifying lap, the driver out of Zebulon, North Carolina for All-American Racing, and he just now put himself down on the lap time that was good enough for third place. Kart City Performance setting the stage here in this 160-lap event, as it should be a very entertaining race for us. Austin Gassion in his rookie start in the Exalta Chevrolet Camaro going to be making his debut and putting himself up on pole position, or at least should say provisional pole, at least for now. But look out from Michael Kenner, as Kenner looks set to try and see if he can't knock Gassion back. And in fact, he will, already up by a 10th here in qualifying. You've got 3 new drivers, and at least 2 of them are from Go Fast Racing. Connor LaFrance and Austin Gassion are both going to be making starts tonight, along with Tyler Grinnell. Not sure where the allegiances lie for the number 19 Toyota Supra, but I have a feeling we'll be finding that out before the end of the night. Looking at the likes of Spencer Ray as he looks set to try to reel his way around the racetrack, as well as Jonathan Baker, who's on a flyer as well. Jonathan Baker's been one of those drivers that's been a little bit all over the place when it comes to race starts this season, and now he is looking to try to see if he can join his teammate Michael Kenner up on pole position. Kenner already a 2-time winner this season, including a phenomenal win over at the season opener some ways back. He's going to get close, puts himself 4th place on the boards. Just under a minute left in qualifying as Kyle Munson will see himself go 12th fastest, while Jacob Noyes settles for 17th. Total of 22 race cars. Make that 24. Getting set to make the start here tonight. Jonathan Baker will be sitting in 4th place on the qualifying sheets as he wraps up his 2nd lap. And it is looking like that is all we're going to be getting here in qualifying from the Richmond Raceway. We're going to take a look down at how some of the team's championship shakes on now while we're waiting for this qualifying session to tick on out, and it's still tight at the top with Badger Racing and All-American Motorsports separated by 15. As you can see, TI Racing already about almost 60, 70 points back from All-American Motorsports. You know for a fact that it is going to be, down between Badger and All-American when it comes down to the team's championship this year. Badger Racing took it last year. They're looking to see if they can't go for another double this time around. Qualifying, though, is complete. We're going to take a rundown here of your Tucson Sound Art starting grid for the Kart Seated Performance 160. It's Michael Kenner on pole position with Spencer Ray beside him on the front row by 64 thousandths of a second. Austin Gassion is going to be down in 3rd with Jonathan Baker in 4th. You've got yourself Tyler Grinnell on his rookie start in 5th with Robert Peterson in 6th. Hunter Thrower is in 7th with Colby Wells in 8th. Logan Hamilton is 9th. Bear Morton is 10th to round out the top 10 of row number 5. Row 6 holds Anthony Musatti along with Kyle Munson. Then it's Jaden Porter in 13th place. He made his rookie start just 1 week ago. Sean Kaiser starts beside him on row number 7. From there, you've got Nate Brody and Brad Prenger on row 8. Row 9 has Jacob Noyes and Justin Wilson. Matt Rucci, the first driver not to qualify, starts 19th. Grant Peterson down in 20th place. Ryan Dingler will be in 21st with Stefan Purcell in 22nd. Nathaniel Ames is down in 23rd. Connor LaFrance brings up the rear in 24th. So it's going to be a bit of a tight battle then for some of these drivers up at the front end of the field here as we look set to try and see what we can do. And a lot of these guys are definitely going to be having their work cut out for them as we will continue to slowly work our way through this season and try to see if we can't potentially get ourselves with one heck of a championship race coming on up for us as we roll into Indianapolis Motor Speedway just 1 week away from now. We're going to see if we can't dial up one of those drivers that is currently in a very crucial position there in just a moment here. See if I can get a quick hold of him on this one, and it looks like I will be able to do just that. Going to dial up the number 9 driver of Barrett Morton, and we'll talk to the driver. First one out. Barrett, you're 9 points down from the bubble spot, but with only 2 races to get that in, do you reckon you'll be able to get yourself up and into the top 12?
Man, I hope so. We're just going to try and get the strategy right tonight and stay out of trouble as much as possible. It's not one of my strong tracks at all. So I'm just going to, neither was last week, but somehow we salvaged a 6th place finish. So I'm just going to try and keep her clean and see what happens. But it is what it is.
You are starting right around in the midfield here at the Richmond Raceway, and obviously you and I are both more than aware of what kind of calamity can befall at this 3/4 of a mile short track. You reckon you'll be able to do anything from that outside line to try to avoid all of that early race chaos?
I don't know. I'm just going to let guys go if they seem faster, and like I said, just try to keep the car clean. I'd like to get some chase or some stage points if I can, but if it don't work out, it don't work out. But I'm going to try and keep her clean the best I can.
Before I let you go then here, Barrett, anybody you'd like to shout out before we go racing?
Yeah, Wax Marina, RD Designs, Sergeant Junket, and of course you for putting this broadcast on, man.
Well, thank you for taking the time to come up and join us. Well, let's get to work. Good luck out there.
All right, thank you.
You heard it there. Bear Morton's just got survival on the mind, and I can't exactly say I blame him. It is bound to be one intense race as these drivers get set to come around and take that green flag. We'll be in the hands of the Iverson starter, the pace truck. Down and in to pit road, out of turn number 4 to the Geico restart zone. We're underway in the Kart City Performance 160. Good start so far throughout this field as drivers start to take the laps away. On board with rookie Austin Gassion as he fires it down the back straightaway. You saw Jacob Noyes slow on the bottom side as he lost so much ground. And from Austin Gassion, he looks on behind as Jonathan Baker hangs around all the way back in the 4th position. You've got Hunter Thrower in the background here. He's trying to work it out with the 19 car of Tyler Greneau. You've also got Colby Wells, the 45, along with Robert Peterson in the thick of this fight as well as they start to scrap it out for currently 7th place up there on the racetrack. Bit of a lunge there from the 19 car. Almost ran over the 83 car of Hunter Thrower for All-America Motorsports. It's not an easy task trying to get yourself sorted in a field this thick. And so far, one driver has not been able to take it to the green flag. That has been Connor LaFrance, who currently sits way back in pit road. Gassion up in front of the number 7 Chevrolet, right up to the back end of Spencer Ray. He's being pressured by Jonathan Baker right behind him. Single file for a good chunk of these drivers, but there's Jaden Porter trying to look to the inside of Logan Hamilton down in the turn number 1 as the number 5 car throws it up to the inside of the Kyle Larson-esque scheme. Hamilton working the outside. There goes Thrower as he gets loose to the outside. Bear Morton. He's going to wash up in turn number 3, but he's able to hang on. Bear Morton struggling a bit here as he loses the spot to Anthony Musatti from All-American Motorsports. Hamilton's Dirty South machine will survive in 10th place for now. Don't forget, you've got the stage caution at lap 55. And the way fuel's going to be looking, it's actually going to be a huge question as to whether these guys are even going to have to pit in the last running of this race. Fuel window is estimated to be about 85 to 90 laps. If we get drivers going laps down in these first 55 laps, that very, very easily could make it about 91, 92 laps left to go before the end of this race. So if drivers can save, there is the potential that some guys might be able to make it to the end of this race without making a green flag pit stop. That's, of course, providing things go green, which we all know the likelihood that that's going to happen. Robert Peterson looks to the inside, and he will try to make something happen on the bottom of the number 5 car. He's going to push up and make the pass. The driver out of Atlanta, Georgia, working underneath Jaden Porter, a driver fresh to the OMSRL XFinity Series just 1 week ago. He made his opening start. Robert Peterson, though, has been here since the first few races of this season, and he is not about to let some newcomer get the better of him. see 7th place on up, starting to pull away. You've got the 19 car, Tyler Grenett, right in front of these guys, and the Radeon machine starting to drop back as Jaden Porter pulls the outside line. Multi-group short track races. Musati glances into the outside wall off of 2. That outside line can really be a lifesaver for drivers that are stuck on defense. As you can see right there, now Logan Hamilton is actually going to go on offense and try to go around the outside line of the 97 car. Up the hill goes Nate Brody in the background, but we're going to stick with this battle here as Hamilton continues to work with the 97 car and try to pull him into range. But it is so far no dice for the number 97 as he continues to try to stop the bleeding, and already drivers starting to really spread out all across this racetrack. Top 6 have started to break away as Peterson going to shift to the outside as Musati tried to go low. Hamilton clears. All the while, Tyler Grenett just got up and by Jaden Porter. Deeper in the field, you've got Sean Kaiser going at it with Ryan Dingler. Dingler took a bit of a break from racing last week, helped out with some pit reporting up here in the broadcast booth for the Darlington race. Right in front of them, you've got Matt Rucci going up against Nate Brody, or at least he was. Now he's going up against Anthony Musati. So a lot going on at the moment as Musati tries to go for the over-under on Badger Racing teammate Matt Rucci, who has already climbed 8 spots from the drop of this green flag. Brody throws it into turn number 3, slides up, just avoids cleaning out the number 9 car of Bear Morton. And now looking to the outside will be Tyler Grenett trying to make the pass on Logan Hamilton as they go high side up into turn numbers 3 and 4. But Hamilton will pull clear. Robert Peterson still alongside the Menard Supra. Through 3 and 4 once more. It's one of those really complex battles of the moment where you have to really pick your passes carefully. Where do you want to make these moves? How do you want to make these moves? How desperate do you want to be to make these moves? 19 car looks like he'll get clear. Matt Rucci trying for 3 wide up the middle off of turn number 4. We are going to go 3 wide for a split second, but he's going to back out. And Robert Peterson looks like he'll break early for turn number 3 and allow Matt Rucci to pick up 10th. So Rucci climbs his way up into the points standings now for the stage. And he's trying to make up more as he'll look for the inside of Grenett. Off of 1 and 2. The laps flying by as this field chugs around the 3/4 of a mile short track from Richmond, Virginia. Washing way up and out of line is Kyle Munson. Munson almost getting up and into the outside wall. Going to get a look to see if there was any potential contact with this one. And we'll get a look on this one. He was alongside with Grant Peterson on the entry into 1 and 2. Did he outbrake himself or did he actually get a bit of a helping hand? Oh, looks like he did. It was contact. Grant Peterson getting up and in to Kyle Munson there. Going to see if we can get a look on board the number 8 car. You can see Peterson down low. And right there, a little bit of a wiggle, and that sent Peterson up and into Kyle Munson. Munson lost 2 spots as a result, but we keep it green. Hamilton now having to really defend against Matt Rucci, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. And in fact, he won't. Rucci is looking to the inside. Once Rucci's there, he's not going to stay there for very long. Dive bombing into turn number 1. Rucci taking no prisoners tonight. Up and past Logan Hamilton. Heads up as well for Barry Morton and Sean Kaiser right behind them. Got Nate Brody hanging around just at the tail end, watching this battle between the 2 All-American Motorsports teammates for 13th. See Brody trying to make the move for 3 wide, but there's just no room in the middle line. So I think he's going to have to wait here for Kaiser and Morton to figure this out amongst themselves. But that might not be anytime soon. So if Brody does want to get through, he's going to have to think about making that move himself relatively quickly here. Kaiser ahead at start finish this time by for 13th place as single file into turn 1. Kaiser's got him. Now Morton's left to defend against Brody on his own. Whoa, and real crossed up there for Barry Morton. We'll see if we can get a quick look at that one, as this was off at we'll get a look at it. Will be this next time by, as this was off of turn number 2 this happened. Could already see the number 9 car counter steering the number 9 for Mustang here. I believe it was this time by. You see, there it is. Kaiser clears. Watches off the corner. Back end kicks out. Little correction to the right. Correction to the left. Keeps it going. Jonathan Baker letting Jaden Porter go as he swung high into 3 and 4, though he gets a huge run as a result off of turn 4. But evidently not close enough for him to think about making that a pass into turn 1. See Rucci still running that bottom line, trying to still make up ground. Meanwhile, race leader Michael Kenner is all over the place in lap traffic, and Spencer Ray trying to work his way through as well, trying to keep in touch with that number 98 car who's been leading this race every lap so far from the drop of the green flag. Kaiser now side by side with Robert Peterson off of 2. A bit sideways there for Kaiser off of 4 down the front straightaway in the tri-oval. Peace is going to fight back on the high side. Loving it, arcing it down, trying to get the run, but it's not going to be enough. Kaiser clears into 3. Meanwhile, you've got Hunter Thrower trying to defend from both Logan Hamilton. Whoa, look out, Jonathan Baker. All sorts of sideways through turn number 2 down the max straightaway, able to save it though, luckily. going to bring us back into this battle now as Hamilton still working the inside of Hunter Thrower. Now Baker's in the way. It's like they smoked up those front tires. Musati all over the back of Hunter Thrower. And they're going to back down for now. This is all the battle for 7th on back to 10th place. "40 laps down already. Coming to it this time by. That's 1/4 distance. 15 laps left to go in stage number 1. Dingler getting racy with Kyle Munson down the back straightaway in his Interstate Battery Supra. Going up against the number 8 All-American Motorsports driver down on the bottom in the J Concept Mustang. We're at that stage of this race now where drivers are going to just be content to settle down, let this race play out gradually, especially these guys that are outside of the stage points. For the drivers race for stage points, not so sure. You've got Colby Wells with Richard right behind. They are just lapping Nathaniel Ames. This is an ongoing battle for 5th place as Rucci has climbed up now 14 spots after he started way back in 19th. Battle's also won for the race lead as Michael Kenner going to look to the inside of Jacob Noyes, and there is Spencer Ray right behind him and ready to party. Got Kenner also down low. They're going to get real tight there with the 51 car of Brad Pringer. Ten laps to go this time by Michael Kenner's long run pace dropping back. Spencer Ray, though, right in the thick of things, and he is trying to make this move happen for the race lead. Less than an inch between Kenner and the outside wall, using all of the racetrack he possibly can to try and keep Spencer Ray at bay. There's the lunge to the back end. Spencer Ray lunges for the inside line into turn number 3. Almost drifts up into the back bumper as he walks wide in turn number 3. Spencer Ray starting to get physical. The bump and run, a place of common here at Richmond as Kenner shuts the door, tries for it at least. But Ray is better off the corner. Side by side into turn numbers 3 and 4, washing up as Kenner pinching him in, trying to keep him from taking the spot away. But Spencer Ray not clear into 1, but he led the lap at the stripe, and now he'll be clear by the time they get off at 2. Kenner going to look for the crossover, trying to get to the back bumper to unsettle the number 6 car. He's going to dive back to the inside of turn number 3, trying to make the pass happen. Can this work for Michael Kenner? Not going to get there. Spencer Ray fending him off down the front straightaway and into turn number 1. What a battle for the race lead, and I think that right there is where we saw the long run pace that Michael Kenner has coming to full display. I mean, he just fell apart in the last 5 to 10 laps or so. Spencer Ray got up to him, moved him up, and made that pass look easy. Still got this trio nice and close. Jonathan Baker, Sean Kaiser, and Tyler Grenett. This is all the battle for 10th place, the last spot available for stage points. And Kaiser's going to lunge for it, and he's going to take 10th place away from Jonathan Baker in a 1. He's having to defend, though, as Baker's trying to find a way back around the outside line. But I think before he's going to be able to do that, he's going to have the number 19 car lunged up his inside instead. Meanwhile, Wells and Gassion side by side out of 2 down the backstretch. This is the fight for 4th place, the first spot outside the podium positions. Rounding the Richmond Raceway for the final time in stage number 1. What a stage it has been, as Spencer Ray will come out of turn number 4. He'll win stage number 1 for the Kart Super Performance 160. Gassion in his battle for 4th will hang on. And Sean Kaiser not able to catch up to Hunter Thrower. So stage 1 winner then, Spencer Ray. And as he catches up to the IRC Pace truck, we're going to take a quick step away. But don't go away just yet. We'll be back with more for the Kart Super Performance 160 in just a minute.
SoundArt introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of 2 products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. SoundArt ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
Welcome back to the Richmond Raceway, the Kart Super Performance 160, currently under our first stage caution of the night, with yellow flag pit stops underway as we look set to wrap up this stage, as Spencer Ray will sweep his way off of turn number 2 with the stage 1 winner after what was an absolutely epic battle. Meanwhile, Jacob Noyes, who had gotten the lucky dog, is going to be cycling his way down into pit road. Matt Rucci, meanwhile, has gained 17 spots. He is up to 2nd place now after he took his strategy once again to not qualify. Jonathan Baker is sitting way back in 19th place. He has lost the most spots out of just about anybody so far. Tell you what, it has been a very, very solid race so far. I mean, I don't think we can understate just how great of a race this has been so far. I mean, you wanted to see a good race from the Richmond Raceway. Well, you certainly got it here tonight. Take a second to chat around with, look around to see if we can chat with some of these drivers under this stage caution here if we're not going green this next time by, at least. I know we won't be this time, but want to make sure we're not coming to one to green first. A lot of these guys on occasion, they'll like to be chatting around with pit strategies, and especially going into such a lengthy stage here, I imagine a lot of these guys would be a little bit eager to get those strategies figured out ahead of time. You see a lot of the lap traffic here. Waiting for the order to get weighted around the pace truck, and there it is. 1 lap to green, so Stefan Purcell and Justin Wilson will get the Lucky Dog free pass. Well, not the Lucky Dog free pass, excuse me. They'll get a wave around because they were in front of the leaders when the caution flag went 1 to green. Field stacks it up, double file right behind them. Spencer Ray took the lead away from Michael Kenner to win the first stage, but will he be able to hang on? Pace truck down and in to pit road. Green flag back in the air. Trouble, Ryan Dingler sliding it out sideways in the middle of 1 and 2, but he's able to hang on. Matt Rucci under fire from Michael Kenner as Kenner looks set to try and blaze his way off of turn number 4, and he'll hang on to that second position. Gonna get a quick look back on what happened here to Ryan Dingler deep in the field. So it's on the restart, entering turn number 1. Contact with Nate Brody sends Dingler to the apron. And more trouble for Jacob Noyes. He got sideways off of turn 4, slid into the infield grass on a very long slide, but he was able to hang on to that one. As we'll back this up a little bit further, and once again, now try to see if we can get a look at what happened to the 34 car. We saw him already loose and just a self-spin all by himself off of 4th down to the apron, but no caution, and we'll keep this race green. This guy's getting themselves single-filed out fairly quickly here. Anthony Musatti, though, he's going to make the look to the inside of Logan Hamilton and go for it. Got Logan Hamilton right behind, now trying to fend off the likes of Hunter Thrower. Took a while to get this single filed out when we went green this first time around tonight, but it did not take them long the second time, potentially getting themselves a little bit more comfortable with the track, not to mention, of course, the cooler track temperatures now descending as the sun has set behind the horizon, as Morton makes up a spot on Tyler Grenett, or at least attempting to make a spot up on Tyler Grenett, but Grenett's holding that outside lane beautifully, and now here comes Nate Brody looking for a charge around the outside line. Oh, that gets real tight on the entry. Morton clips the apron, and he's going to clip Grenett, sliding back up. Cars going around. They save it, but only by the slimmest of margins. Gonna get a look with this one. As Morton gonna get up and into the 19 car there. And Nate Brody just left with nowhere to go, but a beautiful save there from all drivers involved. Jaden Porter has been definitely looking to make an impression in the first races with the OMSRL XFinity Series, and he certainly did that, as just last week he found himself with a finish inside the top 5 in just his first ever race, along with stage points. Obviously, Hamilton still under some heavy fire by both Hunter Thrower and Anthony Musati, hounding him on all sides. Still see a little bit of the pink up there in the night sky as the sun is almost fully set now over this beautiful Richmond Raceway. And what a beautiful race it's been so far tonight. Almost halfway through, and nobody has looped it just yet. Well, except for Jacob Noyes, but I should say we haven't had a caution for anybody looping it just yet. Top 3 are still looking close. Spencer Ray, Michael Kenner, and Matt Rucci. Still kind of in the heat of things up at the front. Rucci and Kenner, though, don't appear to be nearly as eager as they were in the opening stage, and I don't blame them. You still got over half the race to make up these spots. You don't need to be forcing things this early. In the background, Hamilton under fire by Thrower. We're going to go 3 wide down the front stretch. Purcell, lap traffic, bails from the top. Hamilton washing up the hill, but he'll keep it in front of Hunter Thrower. But that Lowe's and Cobalt Tools 83 ain't going to sit around there for long. Thrower's one of those drivers that loves to make moves. Trouble for Spencer Ray! Ray has wrecked it, and Nathaniel Ames is collected. Spencer Ray crashes out of the lead. And the caution flag is out. Big time trouble for Spencer Ray as we're under yellow flag number 2 of the night. Trying to go high around the lap car, Justin Wilson. Wilson watches up, and it was contact that sent the 6 into the outside wall, and Ames just left with absolutely nowhere to go. On board with the 28 car. Just blindsided, nowhere to go, and just face first. That is going to sting, and I can guarantee you that is going to be 100% down to a post-race review when all is said and done here. Meanwhile, pit stops underway. Kenner was the first one in, and he'll be the first one out. It's a race between Rucci and Wells for second place. But it does look as though Matt Rucci is the victor in that one. Going to try to get one more view of this one here as Wilson on the bottom. Ray's kind of pinching him in, but then Wilson drifts up. just connects wheel to wheel, and that sends Spencer Ray back first into the outside wall. And there comes Nathaniel Ames with just nowhere to go. Marucci got a good look at this one from in the back. Right behind this whole mess as, whoops, excuse me, pardon me, coming through. And they crash behind him. Michael Kenner takes the race lead away from Matt Rucci as they were racing it out of pit road. What a shame there for so many of these drivers. They were having themselves some very, very solid runs. Going to see if we can't dial up one of these drivers real quick here involved in that latest incident. We'll give a quick chat to Nathaniel Ames, who was caught with nowhere to go in that one. Nathaniel, this is Nolan in the broadcast booth. You got me?
Hey, how's it going, Nolan? I got you loud and clear.
Well, it wasn't quite the way you wanted your race to go here. Obviously, you were kind of had the front row seat as to what was the aftermath of that wreck. Why don't you walk us through what you saw?
You know, well, first of all, I've not had a great start to the race. So I've been struggling around here all night so far. All I saw was the leaders taking the low side like they've asked, you know, just to get around our slower guys. And next thing I know, I'm coming out of turn one into turn two, and Spencer's around, and I was staying to the high because I had a low car and lead car inside, and nowhere to go. I locked him up, tried to get it to stop, and it just slid right into Spencer.
Well, obviously, about to get ready to go green flag racing here, so I'll wrap this up quickly. Do you reckon you'll be having some better luck over at Daytona next week?
I reckon so. You know, I was hoping to have a good night tonight. It's my home track, but you know, to follow the cards. So, thank you, Nolan.
A lunge down low from the number 5 car as Gassion tries to keep it steady up top. 85 down, 75 to go. Well, it's got this battle way in the background here with a lot of drivers, including Spencer Ray, Ryan Dingler, Kaiser, Peterson, the other Peterson, and Morton, all under a blanket. Jonathan Baker pokes his head into the ring. Ray looking low, 3 wide. Kaiser takes out the 19 into the outside wall. Tyler Greta wiped out by Sean Kaiser. And we're under caution again. A move gone bad for Sean Kaiser. He swings it low as Spencer Ray had taken it 3 wide and just didn't turn. Grant Peterson just barely made it out. I think Dingler may have gotten a piece. Jacob Noyes just got around that. Not what you were hoping to see at all. You can see Jacob Noyes just getting up and around that. We got to look on board the number 34, 2 girls in a Leaf machine. Was right up in the lead with this as into the outside wall. He's just going to scrape through. And Stephen Purcell with a save off of the apron as well. One other driver that had a nice full view in this one, Grant Peterson. Watch this. Reckon in front. Just cut it back down on the low side and hope for the best at that point. And we'll wrap it up with Stefan Purcell. With this save off the apron, they went around. He took a few drifting lessons. Caution flag is out for the third time tonight. We'll take a quick step back, and we'll be back with a restart here in just a moment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Richmond Raceway and the Kart City Performance 160 as we are still rounding our third yellow flag of the race at this point. Anybody that came on down will be good to go to the end on fuel. So the factor in for fuel strategy is out the window. For those of you that are just joining us, this is the incident that put us under our most recent yellow flag of the night. With Spencer down low 3 wide, but Kaiser was the cause as he just ran into the 19, sent them both to the outside wall. Peterson scrambled to avoid. Dingler was involved, and Purcell took a little slide of his own. We're 1 lap to go before we go back. Green flag racing. Still got 23rd place on up on the racetrack. Conor LaFrance still has not made it to the races. Pace truck pulls in. And once again, we're back green flag racing. Michael Cannon with a solid pull off of the jump that time around. Wells looking for the inside of Rucci. Gassion side by side with Jaden Porter. Down the back straightaway into turn numbers 1 and 2. Nate Brody and Bear Morton, they're going to do battle off of turn number 2. Rooftop Bar Tools Chevrolet going up against the Wax Marina number 9. While up front, we are still single file. Kenner's got himself about a 4-car length lead over Matt Rucci. But it's going to be a big question of how long that's going to last as Spencer Ray looking to work the outside line of Nate Brody. Scraping the wall. Trouble for Purcell as he gets up and into the outside wall, and yellow flag is out. Fourth caution flag of the night. Michael Kenner still your race leader as we take the yellow flag once more. So what happened in this incident with Stefan Purcell? You see Brad Prenger right behind, lunging in. Oh, he locked up. So Prenger locked up and just cleaned Purcell out. Tell you what, though, Purcell did everything right there. He locked that thing down. And I'm pretty sure he barely scratched the paint. Watch on board. It's going to get tipped here. Hammers the throttle. Maybe a slight ding, but honestly, that went just about as well as it could have gone there. For Stefan Purcell, I mean, you can't really ask for much better than that, as we will try to get a look on board here with Jacob Noyes, who was right behind the incident. Yeah, you can see the 51 just locked up on the entry, and around goes Purcell. Not a very ideal situation there for Purcell, as he's going to be finding himself a bit on the back foot here as a result. And in fact, want to see if we can't maybe get in touch with the driver that got into Purcell, see if maybe we can get his side of things. Brad, well, obviously collected in this latest caution. Why don't you tell us your side of the story on that one?
I was in my mirror driving with Kaiser and locked him up going into the corner. And that was all she wrote. I apologize, Steven.
Obviously, it's not an easy track, and when it's a bit hot and heavy like this on these restarts, mistakes can be a little bit more common. You're not the first person to have done that so far all race long. Do you reckon, though, we might be seeing other drivers falling victim to similar errors in these last 60 laps or so?
I think so. I think it's go time here, and I think you'll start to see a little bit more of that, but hopefully we can keep her green and have a good race here to the end.
Now, fingers crossed. Green flag race is obviously what we're all here for. Anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you get back to work down there?
I'd like to shout out Carson Hill for using his 5th provisional this week. Hopefully you'll see him next week. Other than that, everyone at home watching, and shout out to you for the good broadcast.
Thank you for the compliments there, Brad, and hopefully you'll be having some better luck throughout the rest of this race as well. Good luck out there.
Thank you.
Well, you heard it there first. Just went in too hard, locked it up. Very easy mistake to do. It's a pretty shut and dry case, that one, as Brad Prenger will look set to restart from near the tail of the field. I'm sure Purcell has his own thoughts about what happened there. Obviously not an intentional wreck. It's just an over-aggressive move that went bad. I mean, can't really say I blame him. I mean, we've seen so many people do the same. One last look. Watch the left front tire on the Hellman's Chevrolet. Throws it in. You can already tell that's not going to last. Right there, lock it up. Full lock. Can't steer. 57. Spin. Wall. It's that point in the race where it's going to get crazy through turn number 4, and Michael Kenner leads us back to green. Rucci clearing down across the nose of Kobe Wells immediately in the dash to turn number 1. They're checking up big time back here in the field as we go 3 wide with Baker and Dingler caught in the middle. Initial restart chaos aside, we're back to green flag racing as Austin Gassion gets into it with Jaden Porter. You saw the contact off of turn number 2. Hamilton and Musati now going to do battle off of 4. Musati scrapes the wall again. And Hamilton to the inside. Jonathan Baker going around. Jonathan Baker loops it into the inside wall, but no, caution, we stay green. And he was not the only driver with trouble. We'll get a look at what happened to Nathaniel Ames first as he went around off of turn number 4 on the restart lap and slid into the infield grass. This is what happened to Jonathan Baker. Got into it with Nate Brody, and that sent him spinning to the inside and into the pit wall. So we are back to green flag racing here, but not for lack of its own incidents. Holy cow, just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier in this race. Well, there you go. Now we got the good old wrecks that are so far down they can't be called a caution. Saw a few of those at Darlington. And even more trouble for Sean Kaiser, who's had his own struggles on lap 105. This was 2 laps ago. Oh, has he gotten into it with Jacob Noyes? Yes, he has. Going around. And no yellow flag for that one either. It's going all sorts of wrong for a lot of these drivers. Hamilton getting around Austin Gassion as we fire it back down into turn numbers 3 and 4. Hamilton clears Gassion. He'll push up to the outside wall without a moment's haste. Musati will immediately capitalize on the off-guard Exalta Chevrolet. Sweeps to the inside. This time, though, Gassion not going to make that mistake twice as he immediately tucks in between Musati and Kyle Munson before Munson could execute a pass. And even further down the order, Ryan Dingler working on Barrett Morton into turns 1 and 2. Oh, Brody really leaning on the back bumper of the Wax Marina number 9 Camaro. If he's not careful, that's going to end in a wreck of its own. Dingler continues to work the bottom, but Morton is so strong up top, he is not allowing Dingler to get the upper hand on him, and Morton is through into 10th. And Grant Peterson having a bit of an interesting moment here. Want to see if we can get a look at this one. Oh, he got tipped by the 19. So Grant Peterson ended up going around courtesy of the number 19 car. Take a look at this one. This is going to be coming around turn number 3 and 4. And yeah, Grant just drove it in there really hard. And somehow Peterson able to recover. Musati, Hamilton, side by side, down the back straightaway into 1. Well, you heard Brad Prenger say in his review or in his interview there that it was going to start getting wiry now, as a lot of these drivers are getting impatient. It's the end of the race, or is it? I mean, we still got over 40 laps left to go, but That fact doesn't seem to have a whole lot of bearing so far on the guys in this field that have been racing like it is the last lap. You're currently watching the battle for 5th place on back with Logan Hamilton, Spencer Ray, Anthony Mussadi, Austin Gassione, and Hunter Thrower. And a 5-car long scrap. But keep an eye on that track map. You'll see Rucci continuing to close in on Michael Kenner, and we'll be checking in on that battle shortly if that continues to get any closer. And now Nathaniel Ames is going to have to be a bit more cautious here with this one as well, as Ames is already a lap down. Ray's going to make the move on Logan Hamilton, trying to get around the number 12 car. But if I know Hamilton, he's going to be able to work that outside lane and try to fend him off if he hasn't already burned up his tires. That's one of Hamilton's weak sides, is definitely when it comes to trying to conserve his stuff for later on in the runs. He tends to cost himself more than anything. And it looks like it's going to be a similar story here as well. Ames goes all the way up to the wall as Mussadi gets out of shape down the back straightaway. He'll swing down to the low side and try to throw it in to keep in touch with Hamilton as Spencer Ray has cleared the Dirty South Racing number 12. Mussadi hits the outside wall. He'll lose the spot to Gassione, and one more to Hunter Thrower. Meanwhile, Michael Kenner has been losing ground to Matt Rucci. And Rucci is really starting to hound the back end of that number 98 car. He's going to make the move here into 3. Doesn't look like it. He's making the peak. He's trying to let the 98 car know, hey, I'm here. And I know for a fact that I'm going to have myself a solid race ahead of me here. Nate Brody, by the way, has entered pit road. Doesn't look like it was anything major, though, as Brody is just, looks like to be in for his own service. The battling continues for the race lead. We're going to look back to Mussadi as Mussadi just barely clears Hunter Thrower down the back stretch. Or the front stretch, pardon me. It's already been a very, very long race, and we're not nearly out of these woods just yet. Back up to the race leaders. This is at the moment the closest battle of anybody so far on the racetrack for position. And hey, if the closest fight is for the race lead, I'm happy with that. It is worth noting that both of these drivers are more than secured already into the chase-off. Matt Rucci has got 3 wins on the season. Michael Kenner has 2. Rucci at the moment, and in fact Kenner as well, they're both just trying to go for some extra glory and pad the stats a little bit. Rucci has finished first at Mid-Ohio and Chicagoland. He was 9th at Darlington 1 week ago, and then of course he won the Michigan race for round number 2. apart from his obvious Daytona win, Michael Kenner has netted himself a win at the Charlotte Motor Speedway as well. Jonathan Baker takes to pit road for service as we hit 30 laps to go. Unsure if that was scheduled or not. But we remain green flag racing as we'll check in on some of these battles. You got Ray, Wells, along with Prenger and Morton. Prenger getting real close to the back end there, Fair Vorsen, as we fire down through turns 3 and 4. And still waiting to see if Matt Ruccier is going to make this pass here on Kenner Baker as well, or Michael Kenner as well. It's getting real tight though, and I can tell you right now, it's not going to be too long before this battle comes to fruition. Going to be 27 laps to go. We'll take a quick step away, and it'll be side-by-side action. You're not going to miss a moment in this fight for the race lead.
SoundArt introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of two products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. SoundArt ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
Michael Kenner and Matt Rucci have caught lap traffic. Look out for Jonathan Baker and Stefan Purcell. This is where it's going to get hectic. How do you manage the lap traffic? That's how this race could be decided. Both racers will sneak to the inside of Purcell. Kenner clears himself and buys himself another car length of room in the process as Rucci got held up behind him. If you're just joining us, you've missed one awesome race for the Kart City Performance 160 from the Richmond Raceway for what has been one of the better short track races I think I've had the pleasure of commentating over in a very, very long time. We're going to check out some of our other battles. You got this one between Anthony Musatti and Austin Gassione, currently raging on for 7th place. And then you obviously have this one with Tyler Grennett trying to hound the back end of Kyle Munson. This race has really settled out from its initial mayhem on this latest restart, and now a lot of these guys have been able to find themselves with a relatively smooth sailing ride around the Richmond Raceway. I mean, this has not been too chaotic of a night after the initial, stage start chaos that typically happens in races like these. As well, maybe we're going to get some here as Musatti gets to the back of Austin Gassione. It's worth noting that Musatti and Gassione have raced each other in other leagues in the past, and, shall we say, Austin Gassione, he doesn't always tend to be the most well-liked driver out on the racetrack. He is certainly an aggressive one, but Musatti is easily able to dish it out just as well as anybody else. Got the number 1 in Nate Brody here, who's out on fresh rubber as he's been slowly working his way up through traffic. Gaston will let him through, and here comes Bussati trying to capitalize. Oh, but Bussati gets loose off of 4. That's going to cause him to only lose out more time instead. Trouble for Justin Wilson as he has spun it on the front straightaway here on lap 143. Oh, and he got hooked by Spencer Ray. So trouble for Justin Wilson as he just gets turned by Ray down the front straightaway and into the infield grass. Michael Kenner working the outside line with Matt Rucci still right behind him. That incident between Wilson and Ray will go down to post-race review. Jonathan Baker once more into pit road. Tell you what, Jonathan Baker has been having a lot of pit stops in the last little while, and I can almost guarantee you that these are at this point unscheduled. Got Kenner working with Matt Rucci as Rucci looks set to dive it down and into turn numbers 3 and 4. So far, Rucci has not been able to make a pass. You did see when we were under that commercial break, though, he did get to the back bumper. So he is absolutely ready to throw hands if he has to get around Michael Kenner. Short track racing is all about how you can handle the lap traffic, though, and they got some more. Sean Kaiser up the road with Justin Wilson and Nathaniel Ames on the horizon as well. Rucci's still got some opportunities. There it is, lunging for the outside line. Matt Rucci going for it. Trying to take it high where they can catch up to the lap cars. Kenner gets loose off the corner. Rucci's boxed in, though. Nowhere to go with the lap cars. It's going to be 3 wide contact for the race lead. Michael Kenner hanging on still from the bottom. And Rucci forced to back out as Justin Wilson hangs on from the top shelf. So here we are. Now it is where it all starts to kick off. Michael Kenner to the inside at Kaiser trying to lap him. Rucci's getting desperate here as we have 10 laps to go. There's the bumper. He is going for the bump and run as Rucci looks to muscle Michael Kenner up the race course. On board with the driver out of Montreal, Canada. Trying to run down Michael Kenner. Rucci's going for a 4th win this season. Kenner's going for a 3rd. Rucci is the faster of these two drivers. You know he is. But now it is a question of how will he be able to get around him. Boy, I hope a caution doesn't come out right about now and take away this amazing race that we're having here. I mean, this has just been absolutely phenomenal. Matt Rucci has been racing Kenner really, really hard here, but he has not done anything out of line. I think that's what's really worth noting here. It's been respectful racing. Yes, he's given it the bumper. He's given it a couple of hip checks. That's fine, though. That's short track racing. That's stock car racing as a whole. You're going to make contact here or there. Everybody knows it. Everybody expects it. And Matt Rucci, if there's anybody that knows how to properly execute a clean pass with contact, or a clean bump and run, I should say, which it sounds a little bit counterintuitive, but there's such a thing, it would be him. Oh, he gets into him again, and this time Kenner gets loose. Rucci hit the apron as well, and he's now going to dive it into turn numbers 3 and 4. Rubbing a bit more off of the corner and down the front straightaway. 5 to go. Rucci's at the bottom. Caution flag is out! Just as Rucci makes the pass, he didn't get it! Michael Kenner hangs on! Musati goes into pit road as the yellow flag flies with 5 laps remaining! You are kidding me right now! What drama is this late in the race? A look to what happened to Anthony Musati. Technical failure. He slides up the track and parks it in the top lane. Nowhere he could go. I want to get a ride on board with Matt Rucci if we can. Right when all of this was happening, I want to see how close this was. You can see him on the inside. Yellow flag, still not out. Still not out. Kenner still out in front. Right there, caution flag came out, but Rucci did not have it complete by the next scoring loop. So Rucci stays out. Kenner comes into pit with Ray and more. Kyle Munson, Logan Hamilton, Matt Rucci, all staying out. This will be a green, white, checkered finish. I've already seen one race that went to triple overtime, and it got messy. This, folks, is where it gets messy. Ames is going to hit pit road. Jonathan Baker stays up, but he will not be able to get his lap back. They're going to have to cycle all the way down to the rear of the field. Right there, wheel disconnected for the 49 car. And you could hear the revs pinging off as all inputs were completely locked in. The brakes, the throttle, the clutch, the wheel was fully jammed to the left, everything. So we get set for one final restart. For what could potentially be a very dramatic ending to what has been a dramatic race. You see drivers like Jonathan Baker starting to cycle their way to the rear of this field, while guys like Michael Kenner will muscle their way up front. Let's run down the pit strategy here. Rucci and Hamilton are on 81 lap bolt tires. Munson is on 72. They have not pitted since the last caution period came out. Michael Kenner's going to be on fresh rubber along with everybody else all the way back through this field. So here we go. Green flag, this time by 2 laps to go. Pace truck into 3 and 4. off of turn number 4. Rucci to the green flag. Kenner jumps up high. Munson down low. We're 3 wide, 4 wide. Down the front straightaway. Throws up the middle. Into turn number 1. It's Calamity at Richmond Raceway. Thrower gets turned hard into the outside wall. And we're wrecking again. Bring out another yellow flag. We're not done yet. Matt Rucci cannot believe it as he is now got Michael Kenner on the outside line. He needed that to go green, and it didn't. Look back to the likes of Hunter Thrower as we watch this from the drop of the green flag. Massive checkup in the field. And it was contact between Munson and Thrower and Gassion. They all got collected. But somehow not the entire field got involved. We're going to slow this down on this one because there is a lot to unpack. As soon as that green flag flies, Munson launches. Munson gets loose. Ray runs him over, forcing Munson down low. Colby-Wells can't check over Spencer Ray. He gets in. That's what forces them 4 wide. That's what sends Ray scrambling to the low side. Thrower's going to go 3 wide up the middle. Munson doesn't enter as tight as Thrower thought. Contact, wall. For Gassion and for Thrower. And Robert Peterson just barely getting around that one. Justin Wilson, I just noticed as well, also went around at the back of the field. I wonder, though, if he was involved or if he just got loose all by himself. Nope, just all by himself for Justin Wilson going around, likely reacting to the incident that he had seen up in front of him there. Going to ride on board with Robert Peterson, who got a face full of this whole mess. Watch all this develop in front. Brakes, 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 zoop to the inside, and I'm through. So now Rucci is going to be caught with 2 laps left to go. Michael Kenner is going to be on his outside. And we're going to go 1 to green. Rucci trying to hang on, but he is going to have to get the restart of the century here to fend off a driver starting to his outside who is on 80-lap fresher tires. Gosh, I love a good old short track green-white checker finish, provided it goes green. Pace truck's in. Here comes Rucci. Geico restart zone. Once again, launches early, spins the tires, but we're back going. Michael Kenner up on the top shelf, trying to find a way through. We're going to go 3 wide, 7 rows deep in the background. Do they survive? 1 and 2. They got to make it to the white flag. 1 going around. Sean Kaiser, outside wall, caution. Ames involved as well. Rucci, though, held on. He'll survive another restart. But now 1 left. 1 green-white checkered finish left. And if this next one also goes under yellow, this race ends under yellow. Entering 1. Thrower washes up, collects Kaiser, Baker gets in it, and from there Nathaniel Ames just slams into that inside barrier. Feel bad for Nathaniel Ames. He had absolutely nothing to do with that one, but what are you supposed to do in a situation like this? As to the outside wall, and then Baker just got loose, and Ames just, yeah, he had nothing to do with that one, and he just got clotheslined. Holy cow. A lot to play for here at the moment, as we are still rounding behind the pace truck for what will be the last time before we end this race. This will be the third and final attempt, is the word. So instead of getting another 2, the way it works now is if you find yourself with another caution before you get to the white flag, the race will finish behind the iRacing pace truck. And as much as we love green-white checker finishes, as much as we love some good old last lap chaos, especially at a short track, no racer, no spectator on the planet wants to see a race finish behind a safety car. You want to see these races go to the green flag. You want to see these guys be able to find themselves with some extra momentum. You want to be able to see, the last lap drama play out. You want to see the bump and runs. You want to see the dive bombs. You never want to see the pace truck lead them across that checkered flag. But as much as I hate to say it, that is a very, very realistic possibility that we're going to be playing with here. Especially with how chaotic of a race this has already developed, being in this second half. Lights are out. Rucci, interestingly enough, is going to pick the outside lane this time. That's going to put Hamilton on the bottom. Now remember, Hamilton also has not taken tires. Kenner will be all the way down in third. Here we go. Turn number 3. Hamilton on the bottom. Rucci up top. Kenner and Ray on fresh rubber. Hungry for more. Geico restart zone. It's there. Green flag is back. Kenner looks low. Rucci clear by 3. In the run to turn number 1. Kenner to the low side. Gets around Logan Hamilton. 3 wide for second. Here they come off a turn number 2. Mutts into the outside wall. That's going to be it. It's a huge crash in the background. One car flying through the air. Kyle Munson sliding. Baker's into the inside wall. Matt Rucci wins this race. Matt Rucci taking the race win on the final lap. Kenner a bump either out of congratulations or frustration, probably both. But off of the final corner, Rucci will win the Kart City Performance 160 from the Richmond Raceway. Man, you hate to see a race end like that. But it was perhaps an inevitability. Going to get a look on how this wreck developed. The 19 car shoved the 8 into the wall. Munson went up for the ride of his life down the back straightaway. My, oh my. Jonathan Baker also got involved in this a bit further down the line, as he tried to gather it up. He collected Justin Wilson, and it looks like Stefan Purcell as well might have actually just gone around that. We'll get 2 more looks at this one potentially. At least the one, though, we'll watch once more from the air. Oh my gosh. What a heavy, heavy impact. And we are absolutely getting the look on board with Stefan Purcell and all that. Watch this kamikaze move through the middle, went directly underneath Kyle Munson. Underneath one and just barely managing to avoid the other. Holy cow, what a ride there for Stefan Purcell. Mavrucci, though, will burn him down on the front straightaway. While we look at your post-race results from Richmond. Rucci the winner, Kenner in second with Spencer Ray rounding out the podium. Logan Hamilton was down in 4th as they are still having some fun there on the back straightaway. Colby Wells is in 5th with Barrett Morton in 6th. Austin Gassione was 7th with Ryan Dingler in 8th. Brad Prenger was 9th with Grant Peterson in 10th. Robert Peterson is 11th. Jacob Noyes was 12th. Jada Poor was 13th. Sean Kaiser was in 14th. Stefan Purcell was in 15th with Tyler Greneau in 16th. Nate Brody was the last car on the lead lap in 17th. From there, you have Hunter Thrower, Kyle Munson, Justin Wilson, Nathaniel Ames, Jonathan Baker, Anthony Musati, and Condor LaFrance never made it to the starting call. Holy cow, what a race that we have just made there. I mean, that was absolutely unbelievable from these guys as they found themselves with so much drama on the final lap. But for Matt Rucci, he's going to get himself a 4th win on the season. And Rucci, I cannot imagine a more dramatic way for that one to come down. You were on 80-lap old tires with 2 guys on fresh arm trying to run you down. Walk us through what that must have felt like on that last green white checker there.
Yeah, you know, we got kind of lucky with those cautions. You know, I don't know what happened behind us, so I guess they just kept wrecking and wrecking. So,
oh, they wrecked all right.
I knew what?
I said, oh, they wrecked all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew I could probably lead out of 2. But then after that, if we get into 3 and into 4, I'll definitely get smoked by and pass. But you know, got lucky with the cautions. One of the restarts I ran like the middle, and then Michael hit the back of me, which I think he's kind of mad over. But I didn't even do anything, so you know, it is what it is. But you know, I'm kind of surprised it worked out. I imagined when I stayed out there would be more people that would stay out, but it was only like 3 of us, so I was kind of, you know, I kind of blew it, but you know, at the end we got lucky with a few cautions, so it worked out.
So obviously with you now on your 4th win so far this season, you are more than secure in your chase-off bid. Indianapolis coming on up in just 1 week's time there. Why don't you tell us what the plan's going to be there, seeing as how you don't have to really worry about fighting your way in?
Yeah, Indianapolis, I don't think we don't run much there, just because they go to the road course now. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, it's more of you know, driver track. You actually have to like, really attack the corners and use a lot of brake and stuff, which I think will be a lot of fun and a different challenge. So I'm looking forward to it.
And obviously, you're looking set to have yourself with this very solid outing, and it should be a pleasant sight to see you back out and racing for wins once more over at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Before I let you go, anybody you'd like to shout out for that Badger Racing 88?
Yeah, Badger Racing, Ryan, Grant, Robert, and if I'm missing someone, that's really bad by me. and Anthony. Hopefully he doesn't watch this. Yeah, and you for watching and broadcasting. I think the battle there at the end, like 60 to go, was probably like really intense and fun to watch.
It certainly was. You know how to put on a good show. Thanks for joining us up here, Matt. Best of luck next week in Indy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So that was Matt Rucci taking the race win up here in this one. It's been a very solid outing so far. It doesn't look like we'll be able to get the chance to talk to either Michael Kenner or Spencer Ray, as a matter of fact, in this one. But, while we're still hanging around, would like to see if we can potentially dial up any of the other drivers. But as I say that, they are all slowly backing out one by one. But I have to say, this has been an absolutely phenomenal race night. And I could not have wanted a better way to end this race short of an actual green flag finish. But, hey, I'll take a car flying down the backstretch just as easily. But for now, from Richmond, that's about all the time we're going to have for one night. I want to thank all of the viewers for joining us here for more beautiful racing action for the Kart City Performance 160 and the OMSRL XFinity Series from the Richmond Raceway. We'll see you all next week when we wrap up the regular season at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
There are moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing Sound Art, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
Come alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With Sound Art, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. Sound Art is elegantly hidden behind a high-grade, textured canvas wrap, bringing together the best of sound and art. This innovative design allows for a truly invisible, high-fidelity sound experience without bulky speakers. For licensors and other businesses, we are capable of producing thousands of units per day.
We're using the highest quality materials to give you the best product available in the market. Everywhere you look, there's always art. What I like so much about Sound Art, that you could just pair it and play.
Ancia, your art never sounded so good.